You know that moment when your cat finally curls up beside you after ignoring you all day, and suddenly everything feels calm? Your breathing evens out, your thoughts slow down, and for the first time since morning, you feel at ease. If that sounds familiar, this video will feel surprisingly relatable. Let me ask you something. When your cat casually knocks your coffee off the counter, looks you straight in the eye, and walks away without hesitation, do you get annoyed? Or do you quietly respect the confidence? If it's the second one, congratulations. You're about to understand why this resonates with you. Here's what people rarely explain about loving cats. It isn't really about personality. It's about how different people experience the world. Some thrive on movement, interaction, and constant engagement. They feel best when energy stays high and feedback is immediate. Dogs are a great match for that. They initiate contact, mirror excitement, and keep things active. But others function differently. They feel most comfortable in calm environments, with consistency and minimal pressure. A cat doesn't rush in to claim your attention. It settles nearby and allows you to share the space naturally. There's no expectation to react, entertain, or stay on. For people who spend much of the day adjusting, anticipating, and staying alert, this kind of presence is deeply comforting. When someone says dogs feel overwhelming, they're describing stimulation. When they say cats feel peaceful, they're describing balance. Cat people aren't avoiding connection. They're choosing environments where they can slow down and feel comfortable being themselves. Once you see it this way, everything clicks. The comfort cats provide isn't just pleasant. It feels steady and reassuring in a way that many interactions don't. Human relationships often come with unspoken expectations. Respond quickly. Explain yourself. Match emotional energy. Even affection can feel like effort. For thoughtful or highly observant people, this constant exchange can be tiring. Cats don't operate like that. A cat never assumes access to your attention. Its closeness is offered, not required. When a cat chooses your lap, there's no need for conversation or performance. And when it leaves, nothing needs to be explained. That shared respect for space creates something rare: connection without pressure. Studies on cat and human interactions suggest that cat lovers aren't distant. They simply prefer relationships that develop naturally without urgency or demand. Cats model this beautifully. They show that closeness doesn't need constant reinforcement. With cats, connection grows through awareness. You learn to notice small signals: a shift in posture, a change in movement, a quiet cue. Over time, this builds a relationship based on mutual respect rather than control. Choice is central to that bond. There's also something else happening on a physical level. A cat's purr carries steady low vibrations that the body responds to instinctively. Even before you consciously notice it, your breathing slows and your muscles relax. Repetitive, gentle sounds signal safety and calm. They suggest that nothing urgent is required. For people used to busy environments, that steady rhythm sits perfectly between silence and noise. It fills the space without overwhelming it. That's why many cat lovers describe a grounded feeling that's hard to explain. They don't feel energized. They feel settled, as if everything is moving at the same pace. This is comfort without effort. And once the body recognizes a presence that brings balance, attachment follows naturally. Now about the intelligence stereotype. Yes, research shows cat lovers often score higher on certain cognitive measures, but cats aren't making anyone smarter. These traits tend to appear together. People who enjoy quiet companionship often spend more time reading, writing, thinking, and creating, sometimes with a cat stretched across the keyboard. Research from Carroll University found that cat lovers scored higher in cognitive ability and openness to new ideas. So yes, many of us are thoughtful, curious, and a bit introspective. And that's exactly why cats fit so well. Deep thinking requires focus, reflection, and long stretches of mental quiet. Cats don't interrupt that. They share space with concentration without demanding attention. They don't pull your focus away. Their presence fills a room without breaking it apart. That's why so many writers, artists, and thinkers have been drawn to cats over time. Not because cats create intelligence, but because they protect the conditions it needs. Modern culture often treats being alone as something negative. Quiet is mistaken for loneliness. But for cat lovers, stillness is where clarity forms. There's also a natural reason cats inspire such strong affection. Certain features like large eyes and gentle movements naturally trigger protective instincts. When a cat looks up at you, your brain responds with care rather than caution. For many people, this feels comfortable because the relationship is gentle and low pressure. Care flows outward without constant demand in return. A cat doesn't need you to entertain it. It doesn't track your mood. It simply exists alongside you. For people who value calm connection, this kind of companionship feels natural. And that leads to the bigger point. This was never really just about cats. It was about the kind of environment you feel most comfortable in. Being drawn to cats doesn't mean you're distant or disconnected. It means you value subtlety, presence, and connection without pressure. Cats don't ask you to perform. They don't test your loyalty. They don't confuse intensity with closeness. They simply share space. And for some people, that quiet companionship is exactly what helps them feel grounded again. We're often drawn to relationships that aren't built on need, but on choice. And that's powerful. In a culture focused on constant engagement, cat people have chosen something different. We've chosen connection that stays by preference, not dependency. So the next time your cat ignores you for hours and then suddenly demands attention, remember this: you're not just a cat owner. You're someone who found a rhythm that works. Your cat didn't just choose you, you chose each other. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing. And if you'd like to support these in-depth explorations, tap the join button to become a channel member. I truly appreciate it.